high pressure to fracture the shale rock and release the shale gas at Whitney. For starters, the well casing that is made up of concrete and steel can become faulty or crack, causing the toxic cocktail of chemicals, water and silica sand to leak into the water aquifer. This then means that water going into our homes becomes polluted. The water is not just undrinkable but unusable. That would be the water we drink, the water we use to wash, the water we use to wash our clothes, the water we use to wash dishes, the water many of our great industries use, like the whisky, iron brew, farming, it's all great examples. INEOS want to frack Scotland. INEOS, the same company that held this country to ransom and the Scottish Government to ransom in 2013 so that they could lower worker pay and take away some of their rights. They want to frack here so they can run the plant in Grangemouth at a cheaper cost. And as has been proven by 2013, INEOS will do anything they can to get their own way. At a meeting in Falkirk High School, INEOS helped to try and convince us that fracking is safe. They told us they would frack half a kilometre from schools, houses and high population zones. Half a kilometre is 400 metres, or roughly 400 metres. They also tried to avoid answering questions where the crowd started getting a bit, trying to get them to answer the questions. INEOS want 1,300 fracking wells in the Falkirk-Stirling area. Along with pollution, this will cause hell on our roads, with lorries transporting 1 to 8 million gallons of water every time they want to frack a well, then transporting the used fluid that comes back up and the extracted gas. This is an insane idea and I will not let it happen in this country. Yeah. I want INEOS to frack off, so join me in saying frack off INEOS! Frack off INEOS! Frack off INEOS! Frack off INEOS!
Frack off INEOS!
Fracking will be an environmental disaster in our country, so please do all you can to stop it. We have Raymond going around with the petition that will be addressed to the Scottish Government. I also campaign for independence. I want independence for Scotland so we can fix the problems this country has. I see poverty around me every day. The gap between rich and poor is getting bigger. And in my school this is actually visible because the people from more deprived areas used to go to other schools that are now closed. In Falkirk there are 1 in 5 children living in poverty. Falkirk has the biggest food bank in Britain. That hurts me to say that. I want to see an end to this in Scotland. Scotland should be a rich and prosperous country that cares for its people. That is not going to happen under Westminster governments. They want to spend 100 billion renewing nuclear weapons or spend taxpayers' money in illegal wars. That is not what I want for Scotland. In May, vote SNP and get Scotland's voice heard. Let's have a frack-free, independent Scotland by 2020. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Paul Young. Miss it again, I really wanted you to be Jim Murphy, don't I? Has nobody got me an iron brew crate yet? Right guys, next up is a good friend of mine, Pat Lee. He's an SNP councillor, he's been an avid independence fighter and he's here to share his wisdom with you. Put your hands together for Pat Lee!
Oh, Pat! Hello, Freedom Square! Hello, guys! Now, we are 12 days away from the general election. Is it no fantastic to walk into a newsagent and pick up a paper that supports independence? Well done to the Herald, the Sunday Herald, and well done to the National. But let's not forget Bella Caledonia, wings over Scotland, and all our online informers. So when they tell us we're too weak, we're too poor, we're too stupid, tell them we know better. Now, this election is not about lies and scaremongering. It's about truth and trust. Not about who can distract you, the voter. It's about who will stand up for Scotland. This is an amazing wee country, just like Latvia. And by the way, I've been not at the top table of Europe, holding the European presidency, a country of 2 million. Or Luxembourg, the past presidents, with a population of less than this city's population alone. So we, as a country of 5.5 million people, have no voice at the top table. 2 nations combined with a population of half our population can decide what's good for Europe. We have no say. Let me go on to the economy. They'll tell you our economy isn't strong enough. Well, our GDP is equal or just below that of London in the southeast. And that is before we take oil and gas into consideration. Now, the value of that is rising. Right at this minute, it's rising. That is it no funny that you can't hear that in the BBC? Shame on them! Now what's the answer to our realisation that we've been conned? We see East Ayrshire there, East Ayrshire. They send us the Britnat Jim Murphy. Now Murphy is quite happy to slide back into bed with his comrade pals, the Tories. And they walked down the aisles of Westminster to vote in another £30 billion of cuts. Sick a parcel of roads in a nation. Now we are fortunate enough on the 7th of May to have a second bite at the cherry. On the 7th of May, let's tell them in no uncertain terms, we made a mistake in the 18th of September. We'll not make that mistake twice. Now the reason for that is, it is our poor and our vulnerable who have to live through the nightmare of an unprecedented rise in food banks and handouts, both working and non-working. Shame on them! And that is because of the welfare sanctions which are being imposed by the Tories right now and will be imposed and carried on by the red Tories and the yellow Tories. Few facts for you. The Labour Party has abandoned its roots. They will now out austerity the self-servitives. Ed Balls, if he had up here. Ed Balls publicly announced not to reverse anything in George Osborne's budget. Now here's the question for you out there, and I'd like an answer. How many of you can tell the difference of austerity from the self-servitives or austerity from Labour? How many? None! And did you know the bankers still get their bonuses? What is the capital country in the world that holds the most billionaires? London. I'll let you work that one out why they hold the most billionaires. They hold 104 billionaires and rising. Now did you know that it would take 65 million years to spend their combined wealth. Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! And that as well, it is now 1 million and rising of our most vulnerable who rely on food banks and handouts. A country where 50% of our graduates will never be able to hold or own a house. Austerity costs £39 billion a year, plus taxes, revenues and so forth. Now in contrast to that, it costs 156 billion over 4 years. In contrast to that, the 1,000 most richest people in the country increased their wealth between 2008 and 2012 by the exact same amount, £156 billion. Who are they looking after? Now the no voters, and we have a few who've come across to us, and they're coming across in their numbers. Give them a round of applause. They've realised the folly of their decision. When Cameron stood in 10 Downing Street and tied the vow to evil, English votes for English laws. They didn't tell you that before the election. You could just smell the contempt held for Scotland by Cameron on the doorstep of 10 Downing Street. We question again, when is a vow not a vow? When it's a political promise. They sent Jim Murphy up to run the Scottish branch of London Labour, and he'll run it with an iron fist. Utter tosh. Murphy will do as he's told, and that's to try and save Scottish Labour, or the branch of London Labour. They know that the Red Tories have just implemented austerity. There is still 60% to come. If you think it's bad now, wait till they implement that. So I'm going to ask you to vote SNP. Get Scotland! The collapse of Labour has been spectacular in Scotland, almost bringing to an end a 90-year plus religious devotion to a party in the recent past who supported workers' rights and social justice. Now workers' rights and social justice has a new voice, and as the centre-left parties of the SNP, the Greens and the Socialist movement. But SNP is the only party who are able to carry our voice to Westminster. So vote SNP. Get Scotland. They showed their hand during the referendum. Labour, Tory and Lib Dem, working with their arch enemies, celebrating their Pyrrhic victory. Now, if you don't know what a Pyrrhic victory is, I'm sure Tommy's going to let us know later on. They reaped the rewards of their endeavour, their corrupt endeavour, and created a dramatic shift in the political makeup of our country and the history of democracy. We called them back to their roots, and they failed spectacularly. They sold out for Westminster gold, sick a parcel of rogues in a nation. Now it's time for us, you, me, the grassroots movement of Scotland, to vote SNP. Get Scotland back! The party needs your undivided attention and commitment over the next 12 days. Let's get out there and ask them, has London delivered the vow? No! Will London deliver the vow? No! astonishing quote here. And Tommy will correct me if I'm wrong.
No doubt.
You may kill the dreamer, but you can never kill the dream. The dream lives on. So there's only one question I can ask you now. Are you with me? Suralda Gibran!
Well done, Clark.
Thanks, Patty!
Well done, Clark.
Can I just give you an announcement here to make? We've had word that there is pickpockets about, so keep your valuables safe, look after each other, and look out for each other, as we always do in Glasgow.
He's here.
Next up, we've got Ross Fairweather, the folk singer. Him and Tony Ederson will then be giving us a duet, and then after that, Tony will be giving us a wee song all the way from Dundee. So I'd like you all to wave your flags, put your hands together, Ross Fairweather!
How's it going, folks? He's alright? He's looking beautiful! I was going to play one of my own songs, but I can't come up here and see this and no play this song. So I hope he's enjoying it. If you know the words, feel free to sing along. Still, our land is lost now, which those so dearly held, I stood against him. But it was army, I sent him homewards to think again. Are past now, and in the past they must remain. But we can still rise now and be the nation again. I stood against him. Red Edward's army, I sent him homewards to think again. I sent him homewards to think again. I sent him homewards to think again. What a sight, honestly, you're beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to do a wee duet. Me and Tony have done a couple of gigs together today for a few things in Falkirk, which is where I'm from. So we're going to do a wee duet. We've done this one for Tommy. A couple of weeks ago he was through doing a wee talk for us. So fantastic, Tony Ederson's going to join me for this.
One, two, one. Oh, there we go. Hey, everybody! How you all doing? It feels good to be back. It's such a good turnout today as well, and I'm glad it's sunny as well. Just before me and Ross sing Caledonia, my friend is actually, Lou and Dave, they're actually being married in 5 minutes in the City Chambers today. I know, God bless them. me, and I told her, God love her, that I would just get the crowd to give her a big shout out for good luck on the count of 3 if you could for Lou and Dave, and a good luck for their marriage today. And 1, 2, 3, let me hear you give them a good luck. Thanks very much, guys. People make Glasgow, you know, and that'll make her day. There we go. So now we're going to sing Caledonia. Let's do it.
yourselves.
Thank you.
Right, that's all for me. I'll leave you with Tony.
Thanks so much.
I've not written in here. I've not written in here. There's a table over there. Free water on it. Aye. Help yourself. Just got to route my car. We'll just get. Fine.
Okay guys, so this song I'm going to sing, it's an original song. I've actually just recently wrote it. I watched the documentary. It was a Ross Kemp Extreme World documentary about people in Mexico and beyond who travel to Mexico, and they travel to the border and try and cross into America for freedom. That struck home with me, obviously, for a lot of reasons I think you'll understand. But when the woman was speaking to Ross Kemp, she was explaining that 1 in 6 people make that journey alive. Like, people are trying to make that journey to freedom. You know, they're literally risking their lives just to have a chance at living safely and happily, and that really struck a chord, I think, with me, given this, the current situation in Scotland. And so I wrote this song. It's called A Long Way Home. Hope you like it. So much, everyone. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for sticking around.